Yo guys, and welcome back to another episode of Podghost.
So guys, many of you that know me know I'm a hardcore football fan.
Man.
And today I'm really pleased to bring onto the show one of the youngest ever guys to make his professional debut for Fulham, and in fact the whole Premier League as a whole.
Mental.
Matthew Briggs, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, man. Good to be
Bro,
here.
it felt so weird to say a Premier League.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He's been waiting for this one, man.
So bro, you know what? I want to start off straight with my first thing, thanking you for coming on.
Thank you very
Always,
much,
man. It's a pleasure.
And secondly, bro, diving into your career, bro, because it's not a career that many people think, you know, when you say football career, you always think of the highs, you always think of the medals, the trophies, the accolades. But there's a side of football that I believe people don't give enough time to, bro. And I want to raise awareness on that. And you know, when I saw your story recently come up, I wanted to get you on. So, bro, without further ado, go into what getting into football, how you got into football in the first place.
Well, yeah, like you said, first of all, like people only see what they see on the TV, and so they don't see the nitty gritty, what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that obviously as the podcast goes on. But yeah, going back to how I started getting into football, I was 10 years old when I actually signed for Fulham. You know, I played Sunday League prior to that. Loved it. The only thing I'll do as a youngster, my mum even said, when he's older, this boy's going to be a footballer. Like everyone thought, yeah, he's going to be a footballer.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, signed for Fulham at 10 years old, and I just kind of progressed rapidly through the academy system, man, because I was always bigger, stronger, a lot quicker than kids my own age. So they always played me a year or 2 years above myself until obviously the pinnacle moment when I made my debut at 16.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Amazing. Even when you first walked in, bro, the first thing I see was that tool you were
You
on.
can see the presence in it. Other than football, I would have said, yeah, NBA player, 100%.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Man. I get that a lot. I get that.
So, bro, obviously, coming into the academy, being around, because obviously people like us, but we don't really see what goes on. For me, it's more like a dream thing. When you see footballers, you're like, oh, man. But, like, when you were being told you're going to be making your debut, were you told, or was it something that on the day manager called you?
Yeah, it was mad, because obviously, like I said, I never used to think about it, man. I used to just kick ball. That's what I just loved it, innit? Just play football. If I'm playing a game, I didn't think too much about it. I'm just playing a game.
Enjoying yourself.
Enjoying myself,
Yeah.
that was it. And I think it was contractual talks at this time, wanted me to sign my scholarship. At this point, I was humming and ahhing if I wanted to go to Arsenal, because they were sniffing around along with other clubs as well. And I think I had one of my friends at school, Craig Eastman, he was the one who was always kind of say, Briggsy, come play for Arsenal, man, come. Yeah. So I was obviously thinking about it, innit? So I was kind of putting off signing my contract at Fulham. But then in the end, they kind of said, look, you're going to be in the squad last game of the season against Middlesbrough. But if you're going to play, you have to be contracted, innit? So who's going to turn down an opportunity to play Prem?
I get
Cool,
that.
man.
So
Cool.
obviously,
So it kind of lured you in.
Yeah.
so signed a deal, and obviously on the bench, and then came on, man. So that it happened quite quickly as well, man. It's all it's all blur when I think about
Do you
it.
remember who you came on for?
Morris Volts, man. Yeah, and
German.
I came on defensive midfield, which was out of position for me as well.
Okay.
I just had to keep it simple, man. Just get the ball, keep it ticking. I don't think I lost the ball. We was losing 3-1, and we lost 3-1. So no goals were conceded. So I take positives from that.
Yeah, cool.
And I remember the crowds, they were singing, "Who are you? Who are you?" I came on, but I was thriving from it, man. I loved it, man. So obviously you see it on TV, innit? And it's just like, I want to be a part of that. So
That is
was good,
nuts.
man.
First of all, bro, congratulations to even making it that
thank
far.
you,
And
man.
Yeah.
even
Appreciate
now, you're in the top 3 of the youngest Premier League
Mental
footballers.
when he told me that.
It's an accolade, bro, and it's something you'll always hold close to yourself. And
I've had it the longest as well. I had it 12 years.
I think recently, it got broken just recently, didn't it?
Got taken off me in 2019 from Harvey Elliott, and then the boy at Arsenal, Ethan, took it off him. I think the following season after he.
Wow.
That's nuts, bro. Even to be in that company, bro, just to be, it goes, you're in the record books, bro.
Yeah, man.
And that was you being.
I still got it at home, man. The Reds, 2007.
That's it.
Serious.
Yeah, exactly.
man.
Maybe you can send us a picture later.
Exactly.
So, bro, I want to go into obviously, being on the subject of making your debut, and after it, you must have been buzzing, bro. Like, man, when did it all start falling apart? Was it the injuries, and if so, when was the injury, and did you know it's a serious one?
Do you know what? So I always say, like, I didn't know when I made my debut, this is the point where everything's going to change psychologically for me. At first, I didn't think about it too much. But it wasn't until I went back the following season, because obviously make your debut.
Of course.
I thought I'm the next Theo Walcott.
Yeah.
I'm the bursting onto the scene.
Yeah.
Made my debut. That's it now. I've made it. Like I'm gonna be playing.
You've done all the hard work.
I'm gonna be involved all the time. Not necessarily starting every game, but I'm gonna be involved, training with them, be part of the first team squad.
Cool.
So when I've gone back the following season, I was back in the youth team, and I didn't actually make my second appearance till 2 years later.
Oh wow.
And that messed me up a lot, man, psychologically. And as a youngster, you don't feel that you are big enough to go and knock on the manager's door, because not only am I not in the first team squad, so I'm not even in that building, but I can't go and ask, well, what's going on? Why am I not involved?
Yeah,
you know, I made my debut. What's going on? So I kind of just let it manifest inside me, man. Just
eat you up.
yeah, like you know, if you plant a seed, it grows. I say if you don't pull the weeds out, they're gonna keep growing, innit?
So when you start overthinking it, did it just lure me into just like for the debut, for the signing the contract, and that's
I
it?
I had a lot of things going on in my head, man,
Yeah.
and I was then doubting myself. My confidence went. I was thinking, am I good enough? All them things are playing a part in my head, which I never thought about before. Because I didn't think about anything. It's just kickball, second nature. I just enjoyed it. But from that moment, I was overthinking everything, man.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, I don't know if you probably heard me say it again when I allude to the film Space Jam.
Yeah.
Man, that's one of the second, so not the season directly after my debut, but the next one, I know I can't get released, innit? Because I've signed, I think it was a 2-year scholar and a 2 or 3 year pro or something like that. Can't remember the logistics of it, but I couldn't control a ball to save my life.
Right.
I'm going into games thinking, oh, my touch has got to be good.
Panicking,
man.
yeah.
If I don't have a good touch, I'm going to play bad. Touch tackles, balls bouncing off my chest. Couldn't do basic things that I'd normally do, like flary things.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, I'm going to get released. Even though I couldn't get released. Well, I could have.
Yeah, mentally.
I mean, they could, like, say,
yeah.
you know. But I was just thinking, I'm bad. I'm a bad player, man. That's what's going through my head, innit? And that just goes to show, when your mind ain't right, you can't be expected to give your best. No matter what you're doing, if it's football, 9-to-5 job, whatever, if your mind ain't right, you ain't performing in whatever you're meant to do.
100%.
That's so true. Because now I know what you mean. Because obviously you're, like I said, a pro sitting here. We can't even... When fans talk, it's different.
Yeah.
But when you're hearing the pros' perspective of the way the game's played, and you know, sometimes they go like, for example, at the moment, they say Marcus Rashford isn't 100% in his head. And we're like, as fans, saying, what do you mean? You're getting 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
Go and perform. But what you're saying
That's
now
irrelevant, man.
do you see what I
Money
mean?
is irrelevant. If your mind ain't right, you ain't performing. Trust
So
me.
true. See, you don't see it like that,
We
do
don't
we?
see
So
it
when I
like
hear
that.
like fans slagging off players and whatnot,
Yeah.
in my head I'm thinking, you don't know what he's going through.
Yeah.
Or her, you don't know what they're going through.
It's
Do you know
true.
what I mean? They could be going through something, going through turmoil in their private life, and they're still showing up, they're still putting on the shirt, and they're still trying to give their all. So
It's so true. Imagine when
100%,
something
man.
eats us up now and we're like thinking of it all the time. Imagine playing in front of thousands and millions of people at home, and you have to perform.
yeah,
And
it's
it's like
pressure, man.
that whole fan base is relying on you. If you mess up, it's like you've not just messed up for your team, you've messed up for everyone.
It's
You feel like it's a
pressure, man.
burden on your shoulder. I would think like that.
It's pressure, man. I had, you know, when I was at Watford,
Mental.
So when I was on loan at Watford,
Yeah.
I was doing well, innit? And then we was playing against Burnley. You never forget, I was playing against Burnley, and I made a mistake. And I think we had to, if we won this game, we would have went top of the league, innit? I think that was automatic promotion places, innit? And I made a mistake, and they ended up scoring, and we lost, I think, 3-2, yeah? There's one section at Vicarage Road. Every game hammering me, abuse, social media, But that got to me, you know? And then I think I played against Blackburn, and I came off the bench, and I scored, innit? And I ran to the fans, I was like, shh. Because like the emotion, it's like,
Yeah,
what are you
it
saying
just-
now? What are you saying now?
adrenaline, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But trust me, it's pressure, man. It's tough.
Yeah, of course, man.
It is tough. Imagine you're playing in a stadium full of fans.
Yeah.
And
Even
it-
to an extent, your celebration, like you
Yeah.
probably want to tell them, you can't. You just got to stick to the nice ones.
And that's the
Even
thing.
to this day, they still talk about it. Still to this day, you know. But I don't care anymore, innit? Like, there's not a thing anyone can say to me now
Of course.
that affects me, because I've got to that point where it's like, bro, just say what you want. Don't bother me. Who are you to me? Like, it don't matter. to
Yeah.
me.
Smashed it.
But in that moment, like when you're playing and you're feeling the pressure and that you're struggling, boy, them things get to you hard, man.
I mean, the fans' pressure, bro, can really affect you, can't it? Especially in my, like, you know, one of the biggest arguments, or not arguments, but debates I have now is about when, you know, when you're a player and you're getting social media abuse.
Yeah.
Now, I'd love to hear it from you, because we
I've
always
been
talk
through
about
that,
it all the time.
Yeah,
now,
man.
for an example, you claim that you got 2 children, God bless them. Now, when you are getting abused on social media, it's open for them to read it.
Yeah.
Right, and I've always said this about, especially Harry Maguire. Like, you know, I always feel like some of the abuse he gets is really wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he's a footballer, bro, and
Yeah.
some of the things people say to him, like from his family to his personal stuff, and I'm thinking, bro, he must have a family.
It's
Even
not even
little
like,
memes.
you say you're like the footballers, but they're human beings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Of
Regardless
course.
if you're a footballer or a singer or an actor,
Yeah.
we're human beings, man, and we all have feelings. Do you know what I mean? We all have emotions, so we all deal with things in different ways as well.
That's
Like,
so
I know memes make people laugh, but like some of the memes are like
That's-
bang
They're
out
mad,
of line.
they're
That's
mad,
what I was
they
coming
are.
to, because
Yeah, yeah.
when you're watching memes and stuff, and people are like, it's become like like you said, they're human beings, bro.
Yeah, man.
You wouldn't like if someone did that to us, would you?
Yes.
But I think with us, because we see them as these supermen
Yeah.
playing football, like we love football, but we're buying their kits with our names on it. Even at our ages, you know, we kind of fanboy these people.
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
of
And I think when you fanboy someone, you expect them to be
Yeah, yeah.
perfect. Do you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
bro? And I think naturally, when you read that, it's an instinct of like, when people are reading that, the mental health side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us more about that, but when you know, there must have been a time when you get all this hate, bro. Sometimes you're having a bad day yourself.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
ever feel like retaliating and writing back saying, "Yo, you,"
Yeah,
it's just,
nah,
yeah,
yeah,
I know
I
what
have
you
had
mean.
that. Like, it will just make it worse, innit? Because they'll just jump on that. Like, he's biting. Let's get on him. Like, everyone will start jumping on the bandwagon and hammering you, and it don't look good, innit? So you just gotta keep
So you've
silent.
never written back to no one, and you thought, "Nah, I'm gonna
Nah,
leave
I've
it."
left it still.
Do you know what's
Left
worse
it.
as well? Yeah. So if he wants to, Matthew can now respond to the fan. But now, even if the fan like thinks, "Alright, cool, he stuck it on me, done." Now the media team's gonna get onto him.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah, true.
the team might turn around and say, "I'm guessing." That's another thing. Can you actually get not play games because you've posted something stupid online or
I
something?
guess they could, in a form of discipline, I guess.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I've never actually personally done that. I've been
Yeah,
through
yeah.
that myself,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm sure they could.
It's like the
It's
other
up to
day-
the manager, innit? At the
Yeah,
end of
true,
the day, or the
true.
club. Like, if they
And
feel
they
like
manage your social
if
media.
they feel like
and
you
stuff,
stepped out of line
Yeah, yeah.
and they want you kind of out of the spotlight for a minute, they might just say like, "Look, you're not playing, or you're not even in the squad. Just lay low
Yeah.
till it dies
Like,
down." Could be a thing like that.
Especially
innit?
for footballers, like obviously Yaz knows way about. Like Twitter must be the worst for you lot.
Yeah,
Or,
no,
sorry,
I don't-
X or
yeah, I
whatever.
don't
it's
know, have you heard this? So I've spoke about it a lot when
Yeah.
I played against Arsenal, innit, about my calf injuries.
Yeah, I want to speak about that. I was just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go on to that
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
so you might as well go on to that now.
Yeah, so I was suffering with like these pains in my calves for maybe a month.
Right.
Just burning sensations down the side of both legs, inside and outside. Sometimes it would be all right, but anyway, I was picked to start against Arsenal at the Emirates, innit?
Wow.
Obviously, I'm buzzing, like obviously,
That's
I'm playing,
mad.
innit?
Yeah.
But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not fully fit. Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think any footballer's ever fully fit. You've always got niggles and pains all the
Yeah.
time. You never play 100% fit.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good stat.
Yeah, but was doing a warm up and instantly from like just jogging around doing a bit of sharp movement and that, my calves were like flaring up in it, swollen and burning, and I couldn't like like your ankles, like you flex them in it. I couldn't do that. So I've obviously mentioned it like I'm in pain, and I think it must have been a thing like maybe you're nervous or just try and warm up a bit, stretch it a bit more. And I started the game, but Nazari ripped me because I couldn't move. Honestly, like. When I mean ripped me, yeah, like tore me a new one. Like honestly, like, and I'm, imagine at the Emirates,
Yeah.
and I'm just standing there thinking I look like a mug. With.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And anyway, like,
It's funny how you remember Sammy Nasri.
I'll never forget it, man. Never forget it. I actually swapped shirts with him when he went to Man City because he remembered me in it. And
Oh,
and I
really?
played good. Obviously, I played good this game. And he was like, "Nah, listen, let's swap shirts." Because he must have remembered
nice,
that game as well. But it was emotional for me because I put my hand up because I was thinking, I'm done. I can't move. I'm just looking like a mug out here. Like,
Yeah.
get me off. Like, do you know what I
yeah.
mean? But no one knew what was going on as well. So the players, like, I remember Clint Dempsey was like, "What are you doing?" Like doing that, and you had to fill in for me at left back. Fans are getting on my back because I look dead, bro. Like,
Yeah.
so like, what's he doing? Like, he's not even in the games. Like, so I stood on the halfway line for felt like 10 minutes. I don't think it was, but it felt like 10 minutes. And for the ball to go out of play, eventually it did. And I went off. I remember the kit man like put my jacket around me, had his arm around me, walking me down the tunnel. I was in tears, man. Just thinking like it's embarrassing, like.
No, but the thing is, see, no one sees that side, man.
Yeah,
They
but-
just think, oh yeah, he doesn't want to play.
Yeah, but then this is when Twitter started coming out at this time. I think it was 2010.
Right.
I think maybe 2009. But I remember like on the coach after, normal, you're gonna start scrolling in it, seeing what
Course,
people are
bro,
saying.
course.
And the thing is, when you're getting like slated on social media, you keep looking at it just because you want to find that good comment, innit?
Yeah.
Like, weren't coming, man. Scrolling like, you're dead. Get out of our club. You're like, all of this stuff. Why are you picked? Like, I don't know how you made your debut and like, all this stuff. Yeah.
There must be a few racist comments as well, because
probably,
in football there's a lot of that in there.
Yeah, man. Probably, but in the end it was just blurred out, man. I was just thinking, bro, they hate me.
Non-stop.
Non-stop.
You're playing at the Emirates as well,
Yeah.
so even the Arsenal fans must be jumping on it as well.
But bro, I had an operation 2 days after that game, innit? That's how injured I was.
So what was the injury?
Compartment syndrome.
Oh wow.
And I heard it can be fatal as well. If it's not dealt with like quickly, that can be fatal, innit? It's all to do with like the pressures and that. If it like goes up too high to your heart or something like that.
Shit.
But yeah, man, they had to put a statement out as well, because I'm young, innit, and my mum's seeing all this like abuse and that. She lost it.
Of course.
Contacted the club, saying, look, you need to sort this out. My son's going through this abuse. Like, this ain't right. He's injured. And they ended up putting a statement out explaining why I performed the way I did, innit?
Yeah.
And that I'm going into surgery and all that stuff. I had the surgery, but I felt like I had to learn
So
to walk
literally you
again.
shouldn't have even played the game. That's the truth.
Nah,
But
Yeah.
I literally, before my surgery, they took me to the specialist. They got me on a treadmill, and I think the way they test it, they put like needles in your calves, like it's attached to a machine in it to test the like tension and all that. But as soon as I started running, the machine went,
Shit.
and they said, nah, he needs to be operated on. Like, this ain't right.
And that can happen just randomly to anyone.
It just depends on like your body, innit, like what's going on.
Is it
But
something that was overworked or?
basically,
Yeah.
but they said, so I think I was 18 or 19 at the time. The doctor
Yeah.
said, I've never seen a kid with muscles this big. So what,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened is you have fascia around your muscles.
Yeah.
And because my muscles were so big, when they would expand, you know, like when you were doing gym and you feel
Course.
pumped and that.
Yeah.
So obviously running, your legs are going to expand.
Yeah.
Get pumped. There was no room for my muscles to go because the fascia was so tight around my calves.
Yeah. Skin
So
was
you've
tight. everything.
outgrown them sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just squeezing my calves.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
That's why I was feeling that burning.
Shit.
So then they had to like strip the fascia so that my muscles could like breathe.
Breathe.
basically.
Yeah.
And it felt like even after the operation, it felt like I had to learn to walk again. And
How long were you out for?
Months, like 4 months, I think.
Oh shit.
When I think back, I remember
Yeah.
getting up out of the hospital bed. I threw up.
Shit.
Like I threw up because I think like the anesthetic
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah,
was
yeah.
in my body, and I had like these drains attached to my legs, so I'm having to walk, but the physios are helping me walk in it from the hospital.
Yeah.
Wow, it's mad.
That's
I couldn't
crazy,
even walk
innit?
properly. I was like, rah, I have to learn to walk again, sort of thing. Like,
I know we hear about
So
injuries
mental,
all the
bruv.
time, yeah, but the way you're explaining it, it's mad that then when you do come back, you know what, I feel deep for the players in the sense of like as fans, like you get a bit too like we get a bit too into it in the sense of like you just come back from surgery, you've taken 4 months off, your first game back,
And
like,
when
yeah,
that-
he better be 100% now.
yeah.
But you're
bro,
thinking,
honestly,
you know what I'm saying?
These debates, you know, because no, in front of a footballer, it's so different. Because when you talk in front of friends, and I've got a lot of friends who we just every day, bro, like phones, hours, bro.
Yeah.
And just yesterday, we were talking about rushing players back from injury, and I actually said it. I go, you know what? I tweeted it. I said it's a bit hard, man. You can't chuck a player in the Premier League to just come on, and you're expecting the guy to just blow, smash it. But in reality, bro, like you just said, we do expect it.
Yeah.
Because we expect that person to be, look what you're saying. Like, I was throwing up. It's such a weird thing for fans to hear it from a real perspective of. So after you obviously had that 4-month break, you went back into the team, or?
Yeah, so obviously got back, doing my rehabilitation, getting back fit. And I remember we played Arsenal again later on in that season at home, innit? Craven Cottage. And I started that game, and I wanted Nasri to play, innit? But he didn't play.
He got shook.
He's trying to draw out Nasri.
He weren't playing, innit? But I was thinking, this is my redemption game, innit? I was fully fit, or what I can call fully fit.
Yeah.
But I felt good, like I was ready for this game.
Yeah.
I think Walcott was playing on the right this time.
Yeah.
But I think we either lost 2-1 or we drew 1-1.
That was much better
But
game.
I played sick, innit?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, this is my redemption.
feel good about yourself,
Yeah, this is my
yeah.
redemption. And it was at home as well, played good. But then when we played, I think Nasri left and went Man City. This could have been the season after. But played against him. And I think you remembered that day, innit? But I played well again that game. And we ended up swapping shirts, which was beautiful.
Oh, even though he didn't play?
No, he played
on the Man
so
City
I
game.
came on against Man City, and obviously now she's playing for Man City at this time, innit?
Okay.
So we ended up swapping shirts after that game.
Nah, respect,
That
man.
is mad,
That is sick.
Yeah,
He must have rated you, innit? By thinking, look, the guy went through that madness just from that. It was nice of him, to be
man,
honest.
it was good, man. It was a beautiful moment, man.
So, bro, from there now, obviously, your career was getting so great. Where did it all start falling apart? Because there must have been a time where you thought, you know, this is like, you know, like you said, you know, I'm playing. Look at the sort of names we're talking about.
Man.
The only football fans will know what sort of this is high caliber of players.
This is how mad football can just change.
Your
Life
life
can change. So, in my last year at Fulham, last year of my contract, Martin Yo's manager.
Yep.
And he offers me a 3-year extension, innit? Like 3-year contract, double the money. Like I'm secure, got stability, financial stability. I'm thinking, this is nice.
And you're still young, you can always move on to bigger clubs,
And I started the campaign like playing, but unfortunately I got injured, innit? I had like my groins were done out. I don't know what was wrong with my groins. I had a hernia operation, come back, and my groins were still mashed up. So I was out for the whole season pretty much. He ended up getting sacked, and Felix Magath came and took over. And he was saying, "Oh, you're not signing it till you're fit." So I'm like, why? But anyway, I can't. What can I do in it? I have to do what he says. It's the manager, innit? So I'm doing my best to get back fit. I get back with two weeks left of the season, and finish the season. He ends up taking the contract away, and gets rid of 12 other like first team players, innit? Because he wants to bring in his whole new team.
Okay, yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. I've gone from 3-year extension to contracts ripped up,
dropped.
I've been released, innit? I've been released. That's it. And now I can't even get a club because I've been injured all season. No one like wants to take a chance on a player that's been injured all season, who's suffered with a few injuries.
Of course.
But I remember sitting in my bedroom waiting for my phone to ring. It was not ringing, and I'm thinking, huh?
Yeah.
My phone ain't ringing. I was like golden boy at Fulham, like I was part of the furniture, and I was hanging on to this like youngest ever player playing the Premier League. I was hanging on to that, innit? I felt entitled almost, like everyone should want me.
Football owes me something.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, I was the kid every club wanted. Where are they now? Like, why's my phone not ringing? But obviously, I'm getting a bit older, probably not got the experience that I should have at the age I was, and only clubs that ended up coming in were Millwall and Blackpool. And, you know, the agents I had at the time, I think potentially could have been spinning me a few lines as well, telling me things that I want to hear that weren't really happening. Yeah. But in the end, I decided, let me try Millwall, innit? Because it was a London club. Probably geographically, it's better for me. Yeah. So I'd done that, but initially I had to go on trial for, they said a week. Ian Holloway was the manager. Yeah. So I'd done a week there. And then he was like, no, I want you to be on trial for another week. I just want to see your fitness levels, you know, you've been injured. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what, I've got nothing else in it. I need to just stick this out, innit?
Of course.
And done it, but then eventually I was like, what's going on? Like, either you're going to sign me or not, innit? Because the season's gonna start in like a couple of weeks, innit?
Yeah, I'm playing,
That's what I'm saying. I only went with them on trial halfway through pre-season, so the pre-season's already started. Yeah. So I'm like, either you're going to sign me or not, because if you don't, I need to try and find something else.
Let me know.
I don't want to get to last like point until the season started and I got no club. Yeah. In the end, he signed me, and I think what helped is that when he was at Blackpool previously, he had been after me to get me on loan, so he knew what I was about, he knew the player I was, so he's always been interested in me. I just think he was debating if I was fit enough, innit?
Of course, yeah,
they needed a player to come in and
which
play.
Obviously any manager would do, like you said, if he was out on injury for that long.
Yeah.
Makes sense,
But what you asked, that's when things started changing for me, you know, psychologically.
So from there, you went into Millwall for a while. How long were you there for before
I lasted 6 months. I can't lie, it weren't what I expected. I mean, you hear the rumours about Millwall, type of club they are. I scored on my debut for them, innit? So I made my debut, scored for them, and got sent off. I think I got more cheers for being sent off.
Double whammy.
Typical Millwall fan.
Yeah. Which was good, and unfortunately, because I got sent off, I then had to miss the next game, which was Fulham in the league.
Oh shit!
So I was raging. I was thinking, I could have went back to Fulham and done my thing, innit? And
made them regret it.
Yeah. But it's what it is.
Yeah. Nah, it's still an amazing career, bro. Regardless, I know. Of course. You know, when you have dreams and aspirations, no matter what it's in, bro, you actually hit the heights, bro.
Yeah.
You know, for you to sit here and say, you know, ask someone like us, bro, we'd love to go anywhere near a football pitch and play, but to actually get there, and obviously you can say, oh man, I wished it lasted longer and I could have done this or I could have done that, but
it's like
even to get there,
the names that you mentioned as well, that you were playing with on the pitch and on the field.
Yeah, bro. Like, naturally, it's just an amazing feeling, bro. So, bro, you know what I want to go into after football?
Yeah.
Because you're still relatively a young guy, bro. You're not really like, you know, you're not in your 40s or 50s.
No.
When did you start turning to, you know, drinking and, that side of the game where
Yeah.
when did you feel like, was it through depression or was it through something, you just couldn't take it no more?
So you know what? Like I've seen, after obviously my Rising Ballers interview, seen a few comments from the trolls and that,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
But I see comments about, well, if you didn't go out partying and drinking, maybe you would have still been a
Pathetic,
footballer.
yeah.
Nah.
But that's not the reason. That's not the reason. So what I want to get into is like, if you look at the psyche behind it,
Yeah.
why did I do that? Do you know what I mean? So when I go back to me being a young baller, young kid, I'm the best of my age group. I'm being built up by everyone around me. Spun the
Feeding
riz,
your ego, yeah.
Spun the riz.
Yeah.
Like this kid's gonna be England captain one day. Like mark my words. Like I'm hearing all this, and I know I'm good in it.
Yeah, of course.
But when I get to a point in my career where I'm no longer playing, because I'm in that grey area where I'm young, and there's players that are more experienced than me playing ahead of me, which is fine. That's normal. But then I was too good to play at my own age, so I'm kind of just in that
Floating
grey
in the
zone,
middle,
innit? And I'm not playing as much as I want to.
Yep.
Obviously, if you're a footballer, all you want to do is play.
Yep.
So I'm not being played. I'm not being allowed to go on loan. So I don't feel as important anymore and get any attention that I was always getting.
Yep.
So where else can I get this attention? You know? So I start compensating, thinking everyone knows me. When I go out, I'm gonna get attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
100%.
I'm gonna be the man. Everyone's gonna see me spending the money, drinking, partying, and I'm gonna be popular in these places.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm no longer popular here, where I want to be popular.
So
Yeah.
deep, innit?
where I once was loved, and everyone knew who I was. I was the first name on the team sheet. When you look at the psyche behind it, that's why I ended up partying a lot and going out. That's where I'm getting the attention. That's where I felt good.
Yeah.
Trying to find somewhere where I can feel good because I was no longer feeling good playing football. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And
That's deep.
that's how I see it. But that's how the drinking probably started, I'd say. That wasn't like, I wouldn't say I was in my really like dark stages then, but it's a snowball. That's how it starts. That's how it starts there. And obviously then that has an impact on my football, where my football starts going down and down and down. And then like what you asked me about, the drinking and being depressed and all that stuff, it took me to the point where I stopped playing football altogether.
So you just hang the boots
I
up.
had enough. I hated football. I hated everything to do with football. I disconnected myself from everything to do
How
with
old were
football.
you at this point, bro?
I think I was like 25, 26.
Wow, that's going to be your peak.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I went from obviously Fulham, had my loan at Watford, then back to Fulham, then I went to Millwall, went to Colchester. After Colchester, Chesterfield, I just kept going down. I'm struggling mentally.
Of course, yeah.
To the point where I just said, I've had enough of this, man. I've been so used to everyone saying yes to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to accept no. I didn't know how to deal with that. What? You don't want to sign me? That don't make sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone wanted me. Why don't you want me? What's wrong with me? And then it got to a point where, I never forget, I went on loan trial at Lincoln after I left Colchester. And they was ready to sign me. And then all of a sudden they said, actually, nah, we've heard you're a bad egg. I said, I'm a bad egg. I mean, you could ask anybody that I've worked with, any football club, any player that I've played with, managers, whatever, they would never tell you I'm a bad egg. I'm always the calm, chilled one.
Yeah.
I'm not the jokester of the group. I just sit there, I get on with everyone, I'm chill, laid back, that's me. Don't cause no issues. But for some reason, everyone was like, no, I'm not signing him. He's a problem, he's this bad attitude. So
Weird one.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's come from,
Yeah.
but
I feel like someone's got a grudge out for you.
yeah,
or something,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It felt like the football world turned its back on me. That's how it felt. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna turn my back on football.
Yeah.
And I just disconnected myself altogether. And because I'm so used to doing football, 25, 26 years old, what am I doing? I disconnected from my family, my friends, because I felt like I let everyone down. Do you know what I mean? So I couldn't even look them in the face. I couldn't even be around them.
Yeah, man.
No, it's mad. And ended up staying with my uncle from my dad's side of the family. And when I was just sat in, he lived in a flat at the time. I was sat with my hood up like this, in the dark, just not even TV on, just sat there all day, every day, drinking. Like,
Yeah.
like, well,
Drowning your sorrows, innit?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, yeah.
I didn't know what else to do. I just wanted
Yeah.
to numb the pain. Do you know what I mean? Just numb it all.
it's a serious form of depression, there, bro. Because I can just imagine, like, we have so many aspirations on a smaller level, and we don't get them. We're like, oh man. With you must have, like you said, you got signed at 10, and all that, them years you've put in of grafting. You're thinking my whole career's ganging in front of my own eyes, bro. So from there, bro, moving on, you obviously stopped football at that point.
Yeah.
And when did you go back into it as a coach and stuff like that?
What, playing, you mean?
Yeah.
So it got to a point. So basically, my uncle said, "Listen, you can't be doing this, man. Like, you need to get out of the house."
Still got talent as well, man. Yeah.
But he was like, "Listen, this ain't good for your mental health, man." And he could see me struggling in it. So he's like, "Come and work with me. I'm gonna pay you to be a labourer for me. Whatever. Get you out of the house. Get some daylight. Socialise with people." And it helped me, man. And I learned a lot, learned all these things that I never knew I could do in it. Learned new skills, like doing a bit of bricklaying. I'm not saying I'm a bricklayer in it, but I could do a little bit here and there.
It's good, there's skills in it, bro.
I learned all these life skills that I couldn't do before, innit? Even now putting up like IKEA stuff and that, people probably laugh saying, I'm older now, innit? I could do that
listen,
anyway.
them instruction booklets are hard.
Yeah. But at that time, all I did was play football, that's it. Everything was done for you as well. When you're a professional footballer, everything's done for you. Do you know what I mean? You have people that sort out your house, sort out your cars.
The treatments you get as well.
Everything's done for you. You don't have to do anything but play football. That's it.
Sick.
Really? They even get your cars, your house?
You have player liaison managers that, even if parking tickets, sort that out from you. Like, you don't do anything as a professional footballer. I'm talking like Prem level though, innit? You get people that do everything for you.
That's
when you focus in on football.
That's when that's all you're used to. When you're then that's taken away from you, it's like, rah, what do I do? How do I sort this
Especially when
out?
you're that young as well, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That is nuts, isn't it? I didn't do that.
Not even saying it in a wrong way, but it's like you do get spoiled.
Yeah, you get spoiled. You
man.
do.
You wouldn't even know how to handle yourself.
You come in, your breakfast is cooked for you, you ask what you want, lunch done. Like when you go away, games and that, dinner's done. You got parking tickets, I'll sort that for me. Guy comes in, they clean your cars in the car park. Like everything's done for you, man.
Even your car's washed.
That's it. Honestly.
That is nuts. It's funny because I was watching Virgil van Dijk give an interview recently, and he said something which, obviously away from the football stuff, he's saying really deep. And he mentioned the word finance, and he mentioned that, look, there's a little kid that must have asked him, how much money have you got? And are you going to spend it on this? And he goes, no, I'm not going to spend it. I'm actually going to save it, because after football, us footballers, we don't make money.
Yeah.
And it really hit me, bro, because I thought, how long is it a career of a footballer, bro? From 16 if you're a superstar, naturally, say 20 to about 30, 31 till people start thinking you're on his decline.
What's the retirement age roughly?
Well, it depends, but 30, after roughly, 32, 33, you start going.
I'd say 35. But machines like Ronaldo, for example, go on to like 40, 41.
And now, thanks to the Saudi league, you can go on to 60. So what I mean is, it's such a strong point. I want to speak about the whole financial side of the game, because obviously, bro, when you speak about footballers, you speak about the way we speak about it is so normal. Oh, he's on 300 grand a week. He's on 100 grand a week. To make that sort of money, bro, it must be really, really hard. It's not as easy as we think it is. Like you said, everything's done for you, but then you don't know how to spend, bro. You don't know what to do with that.
Even now, though, the money's crazy. But when I was young, the money weren't what it is now, innit?
No, of course not.
So what I was on then is peanuts to what it is now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't. When I was young, you didn't have that financial management or anyone teaching you how to do this. Like, thankfully, I had my mum, and at the time, she made me save to be able to buy a house and that. But bro, I was just spending it, and I'm thinking, I'm getting this back next week.
Money come in, money go.
That's what I'm saying. Money come, money go.
And you look, of course.
I'll be out spending grands, and I'm getting that back next week, man. Do you know what I mean? But when he said how quickly football can change, I was expecting a 3-year deal on double what I was on. Happy days, and then
ripped up, gone.
Ripped the carpet under me. What am I doing? I then went from being whatever I was on to then an 80% decrease in wages at Millwall. Mad. So I'm now having to upkeep the lifestyle I'm accustomed to and living at Fulham on 80% decrease in wages.
That's mad, bro.
And then that also then starts affecting my mental health. And then I'm burying my head in the sand as well, because I'm like, all these people are relying on me. What am I gonna do? Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, bro, it's so crazy, because to think that even like the way you even carry yourself now it's wicked, bro. Just see the way you're
Respect to you,
popping,
man.
you know, you're smiling, and God bless you, bro. Because
thank you, man.
a lot of people in this situation, bro, like to reach, you know, to hit any sort of height, bro, and to just come back, like you said, bro. I don't know how you'd face your friends, your wife, your girlfriend, how you'd actually tell them like they have a different image of you when you're a footballer.
Especially like going up, like from 10 to the sky, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Then dropping low, like you said, 80% decrease. Like, bro, even a 50% decrease, you're not going to be able to uphold the lifestyle that you're living.
Yeah.
And now, like you said, on top of that, you got other people relying on you.
Yeah.
On top of that, you got social media going nuts, fans chatting shit. That's a lot
Yeah,
to take on
it's-
for one
Bro,
person.
Don't get me wrong though, it's
One
been
person.
a journey, like a lot of soul searching, like deep soul searching in it. Don't get me wrong, I struggled for many years, and I'm still not there 100% yet. But I've learned a lot through everything I've been through in it. And when it like when you ask me the question like what I'm doing now, when I was playing professionally in Denmark, my last professional club was in Denmark, and I started getting pain in my hip from a previous injury I had an operation on. They scammed me and said, your career is done at. Like,
Shit.
you need to like retire. If
Back it up.
like, you need to retire, innit? So then obviously I had to come to a mutual agreement with the clubs to terminate my contract, to get a pay up. And I'm panicking now because I'm thinking, if I can't play football, what am I gonna do? That's all I've done my whole life. I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
My education, I failed my education. I got no GCSEs because I was always out of school playing football, because I was always so good at such a young age.
Yeah, yeah.
I was playing with the older lot. I made my debut at 16 before I done my GCSEs.
That's crazy.
Mad.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
So I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? So I panicked, man. I can't lie. I was stressing out. I had counselling. One of my friends is a life coach. I remember I spoke to her about like what am I gonna do, and she actually like made me think about how can I use my negative and positive experiences to benefit myself. Like, what am I passionate about? What can I do?
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? I'm a people person. I like helping people. I think that's a passion of mine.
Bless,
innit?
man.
And how can I make a difference? How can I make a change? And I thought, I'm gonna try be a life coach and be like a mentor of some kind. I didn't really know the avenue I was going down, but I thought, let me do a life coaching course. So I done that to like add some credentials to my belt, innit?
Yeah.
So I've done that, learnt a lot of skills I can use to like help other people. When I come back to England, I played 2 more years like semi-pro, still trying to figure it out. But then obviously I've stopped playing fully now. But I thought, you know what, let me contact Fulham and say, I want to be like, if they have a mentor, which they didn't at the time, I said, this is what I want to do. And like they was all over it. I was thinking, yeah, like
Smashed it, man.
come and be academy mentor. So I done that. And do you know what, like from when I was young, I never had the support that I needed.
You wished you had, yeah.
Yeah, but the pastoral and player care support at Fulham now is wicked, man. It's unbelievable. Like,
Brilliant, man.
Mate, it's unbelievable. And I've just gone in there now and added to the group of pastoral team that the club have to look after the well-being and psychological welfare of these players.
Smashed it, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Big up to you,
Good
man.
on you,
Big
bro.
respect, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So you kind of made that happen before
Yeah.
you. That wasn't the thing, was
man.
it?
Not really. No, do you know what it is? I saw a couple of my friends. I saw my friend Alex Winter. He done player care at Crystal Palace. Stepbrother of mine does player care at AFC Wimbledon. So I remember I messaged them. I said, "How did you like? Do you need
How did you
anything?
navigate through that? Yeah.
Do you need any credentials? Like, what do you need qualifications and that to be able to do this role?" They're like,
Yeah.
"Do you know what? Yeah, you need to get in now, while because it's a new thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, so it's easier to get in
Yeah.
the sense of, yeah.
But because I got that lived experience, I've been there, done that. No one
exactly.
qualifies better than me.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
bro.
You
Yeah.
can be a psychiatrist, a counsellor. You ain't more qualified than me.
I was the player.
I was in their shoes. Like, I lived what they're living.
And a lot of them, you're going to be in bigger shoes than them because they won't even get where you got.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's the
Oh, you
thing,
won't be
man.
nice coming
That's the
from your
realness,
mouth, but
but
it's the
that's the
truth.
realness behind
Yeah.
it. Like, I think it's 1% or less than that actually make it to the first team of the club they're
That's
at.
nuts, isn't it,
Yeah.
bro? Like to think how many people have this aspiration and dream.
Yeah.
1% of them actually make it.
And if you just
Yeah.
even think back to when we even go 5, 7, 11 asides, yeah, how many great players do we know? But it's like
Yeah, but they're nothing.
They're nothing. But
I've
they're
always said
great.
that. It's
Yeah.
so true. Like,
It's
we
mental
don't-
to think that,
Nah,
innit, though?
I
there's
do.
so many good players
Yeah.
all throughout the world, man.
Yeah.
But not hardly any of them make it.
We need a Pakistani
But
team.
what
man.
is your view on that? Because I was talking about the whole football side. Because again, it's very rare we get into the professional. What is your view on that? Why do you think that is the case where so many players don't make it? Because surely it's not just about talent. Because
No,
like you
it's
said,
not.
you can go on the street and see
Yeah, like-
a
yeah.
kid in the middle of Brazil
Yeah.
doing 500
Madness,
kick-ups or
yeah.
whatever, but I know freestyling's different to football. But what's your view on these guys from the academy as well who don't really make it?
Nah, do you know what it is? Yeah, like 100% agree with you, because I've been in that place. I've been burning. Yeah, thinking,
Yeah.
how's this guy playing?
Yeah.
Week in, week out, and I'm not. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you need a player that is consistent and
Right.
disciplined, sacrifices what he needs to sacrifice for himself to be the
Attitude.
best he can be,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
attitude. So you could have a player that's a world beater, the best, but his performances and the way he carries himself is like this, inconsistent. If you've got that player that's just steady Eddie, just there,
Yeah.
give you that consistency every week, week in, week out.
Like the James Milners.
He's gonna make it over the
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
that's got more ability than him, but it's like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
That's it.
Well, that's another lesson for the young kids, innit? Make sure
Yeah.
it's not just about
Consistency.
playing. Yeah.
Do the basics well, man. Control what you can control. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You might not be the best player in the world, but as long as your attitude's right, your discipline's right, you sacrifice what you need to sacrifice and do everything properly, you can have a decent career, man.
Got a bit of
Yeah,
a
so
question,
true.
Matthew. Is there anything that you would change going back
Good question, that.
Like for myself
for
personally.
yourself in your own career?
Oh man.
Maybe a decision
Because
you
I know,
thought.
because I know what whatever you did has made you who you are now, and I'm sure you're thankful for
Yeah.
everything. But
Of course.
there must be something.
Like I always say, man, like talk. I didn't
Yeah.
talk. If I was talking helps, you know. I would
Yeah,
say
of
this,
course.
especially for men. Yeah, men don't open up, innit? I say it in general for like women, men,
Oh,
kids,
yeah, so true.
anyone. Like if you're feeling something, talk. But especially for men, especially in like a sporting environment where you gotta be the guy. You can't show no emotion. If you show emotion, it's perceived as weakness.
Yep.
That's not the case, man.
course
Like
not.
the amount of like times at Fulham, like I'll be like, what's wrong? I can see there's something wrong. Be like, nothing, man. I'm like, don't lie to me. Come here, chat to me. What's
Yeah,
wrong?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And they open up, yeah.
And they open up. And I've had kids say, listen, if you weren't here, I don't know what I'll do.
Wow.
Because they need that person that can know
Just
them,
listen to
understand them, and listen to them. Because that's what I'm saying. That's what I would change, man. I wish I opened up and spoke to the close people around me, people that I could actually open up to
Yeah.
and get the advice I needed. But I didn't. I let all the bad emotions and that just stay inside. Like I said, you don't pull the weeds out, they're gonna keep growing.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I
they
think
get
now
infested.
he's there to help the other ones.
Yeah.
The young
But also, I
generation.
think in your case, bro, you know, like you said, because you were the tallest, the biggest, you had the muscles, you had football, you know, you
Yeah.
was at your feet, bro.
Intimidation.
Like literally, you're going, like you said, bro, being the youngest player to play for the club, and everything must have been like just like that.
Yeah.
So why should someone who's going up now feel I need to go down and tell someone I'm depressed or going through something? I think sometimes, like you said, if you were in the middle, where you didn't know you were a good player, but you weren't someone who was a star boy or
Yeah.
something like that, then maybe you would have. But I think maybe the ego kicks in a little bit where you think, I'm not going to talk about my depression. I'm a man, bro. You know
I'm
what I
a
mean?
bit embarrassed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, you know,
Like I swear, I was
But
just,
that's the
last
thing.
week I was posting on my Instagram that I'm out here, and today you want me to say I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing about eradicating the stigma around mental health. Like, there's nothing wrong with feeling bad or having bad days, man.
Oh, without a doubt,
Do you know
bro.
what I mean? So even if you're doing well, you're gonna have bad days. Let's not fool anybody. Like
Yeah.
everyone has bad days,
Oh,
ups and
100%.
downs, swings and roundabouts in life, man. And if you need to talk. Two brains are better than one.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
know what I mean?
Of
Like,
course.
don't deal
That's
with that
what
on your own,
technically
man.
counselling is, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do? You sit down and talk about it.
You talk about it,
And look
man.
how big counselling is now.
Bro, that's why even on podcasts, I know like it's the first time we've ever met, but it's
Yeah.
like, look, even right now, just talking in general now, obviously, especially for Yaz, being a football fan,
Yeah.
speaking to a football player, and he's even saying like, bro, you can speak about this thing, you could do this, you could do that, it's not that big of a deal. You're going to inspire loads of people to do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
nothing wrong with
No.
opening
There's
up.
nothing wrong with that. Even if
Being-
you get through to 5 people.
Yeah, I actually think opening up, being vulnerable, is strength.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's strength, man. That's character.
Yeah.
It's so
To
true.
be able to do that.
And bottling it in is the easy way out.
That's the easy way out. That don't take nothing. That's not strong. Do you know what I mean? That's easy. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Deal with it yourself, bottle it up. But then in the end, something's gonna trigger you and you're gonna just erupt. You're gonna explode and you're gonna then be on an even more decline. Do you know what I mean? Deal with it while you can.
You still coaching at Fulham now as well?
So I do the mentoring at Fulham.
Yeah.
I'm doing my UEFA B badge as well currently to
brilliant.
like hopefully become a coach. Not sure if that's the avenue I'll go down, but it's good to have
Coaches
that.
in that manager club.
Yeah, like
manager.
I have to have different badges for that, but be able to coach in an academy.
Smashed it.
I'm also working in a school as well as a sports mentor. So I work with kids with SEN, so special educational needs, or SEMH needs, which is social and emotional mental health. or kids with behavioural problems, just to kind of mentor them through sport, man, and get them to.
It's amazing, man. I love the way you're just going around your business and helping, giving back to the community.
Amazing.
And something that was, because let's be real, but football's been nice to you, and it's not. Everyone just looks at success as, like I mentioned before, the money, the cars, the hype. But you have to look at the fact that what it's done for you.
Yeah.
Like us calling you on, bro. It's because you're a big guy, bro, making it into where you've done, and to think that you did that, it's just a success story, bro. In fact, you're giving it back now to these kids who can learn so much from your, maybe your misfortune.
The way you said you was at how you was in your younger age, like it's like didn't expect you to be that person now who would be helping the others.
That's what I say. Even my mum laughs about it because she goes,
brilliant.
My Matthew working in a school. You couldn't have told me that like 6 years ago. No way you're working in a school. I'm like, people evolve, man. People change.
Brilliant, man.
And that's so good, because it might give you more look, even as Muslims, bro, we believe that God will only put you in positions to better you. Maybe you would have got everything you wanted, and you would have lost a bigger thing. You would have lost, you got kids, you got a family. Maybe you wouldn't want that, because you're making so much money, you're around the world, maybe signing for Madrid, or you don't know where your life will go, bro. But God sees the unseen.
That's what I mean.
That's what we always say. Be thankful for everything you have.
I always think, like, everything happens how it's meant to happen, innit? I think maybe I was meant to have some sort of football career, but maybe it weren't meant to go to plan. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, innit? I'm meant to experience that life.
So it was supposed to be in football, but just not as a player.
Yeah, possibly, innit?
But you lived that life as well.
Lived it.
That's what I'm saying. That's the blessing of it.
Yeah, and I could have been a guy that was so bitter and gave out hate because of what I've been through. But instead of that, I'm trying to turn it into love, innit? Use my experiences to help others and change their. What's the saying? Make a change today to let them have a better tomorrow.
Of course.
100%.
Well said, bro. You got that right first time.
That's what I'm trying to do, man.
That's amazing, bro. But obviously, before we wrap up, I want to ask you a few questions about people you've played with and things like that. If I was to ask you who's the best player you've seen, right? And I don't want to put you on the spot, bro. This is
I hate this question. I can't answer it, bro. It's so hard.
There's so many.
People ask me who's the best player.
Who you, even if he wasn't the best, but someone who
that I've actually played against.
Go on. We'll narrow it down to that then.
That I played against.
Played against or played with?
Go on,
Alright, we do played against, first.
I'm sure Nasri's up there.
I'm trying to think if there's like.
And I ain't playing in the Premier League, bro.
Obviously, Rooney. Rooney's up there. Obviously. Now, do you know what? Rooney. Oh man, top 3. Wait, I gotta say Rooney, innit? Prolific goal scorer.
Rooney was sick.
England striker. Gotta say Rooney. Bro, Lampard. Mate, I can't do top 3, man. Aguero. I never played against them. I was on the bench against them. I played against Man City, Man United, Chelsea many times.
Now United, bruv. First rule number 1.
That's my team, Is
it? You just got a hat-trick against them.
I got an assist against them, though.
That's what I'm saying. No. So you don't support them now, though, do you?
Yeah.
Do you? I always found that weird where you play for another team, but you support another team.
Do you know what was weird for me, when I started against Man United, and obviously I support them, innit?
Score no goal.
I was thinking, what do I do in this sitch?
Yeah, that was going to be my question. So, do players, even though they play for a certain team, do they support other teams?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
That's mental to think.
But like, I just had to think, you know what? This ain't United. This is my opposition. This is my opponent. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's it. Like, just drowned it out. They weren't even wearing red on this day. I don't know what colour they were wearing.
No, you know what? Have you ever been starstruck seeing a footballer?
Never.
I've never had that. See them as opposition, and I'm gonna bang you out.
When I was 14, right? I met Ronaldo, innit, and Rooney. So Fulham took me to Old Trafford when I was 14. I don't know if they was getting me ready for this life, innit. Like,
true.
A couple years later, I made my debut. I don't know, but they took me and the goalie at Sheffield, Wes Foderingham. They took me and him to Old Trafford, and what's his name? John Murtagh was one. I think he was our academy director at the time.
Yeah,
and he's obviously from that way, but he got Ronaldo and Rooney to come out, innit. And obviously he knew I supported Man United, so got them out, and I was just like, what's going on? But I went mad, innit?
You're right. It's only CR7,
Yeah, I got a picture with Rooney, but I was reluctant. I didn't like. They just take a picture because it was England striker.
Yeah, of course.
But I come back and my mum was like, why didn't you get a picture of Ronaldo, man? I'm like,
so you said Messi's better.
No, Ronaldo for me is the goat. When this debate comes up here, it's always Ronaldo for me. I love Ronaldo.
We'll have a debate. Because I'll go on for ages here, bro. Yeah. But because you're a professional, I don't think I will. Shit. I'm like, all right, cool. But you know what, again, it's naturally when you play football and you've had such a great career and in the sense that you've done everything you wanted, bro. Yeah. But when it comes down to these moments where you look back and you think, you know what, like he asked you before, you know, you wouldn't regret nothing. But do you wish at the time, you know, for example, when Arsenal came in for you, you know, at that time, maybe if you just held tight and thought, you know what, because, you know, like you said, I think you kind of got lured. They didn't want to lose such a talent. Yeah. And it feels like at the time, maybe you could have held out for Arsenal. I think that might have been an option you probably regret today, you know?
Yeah, like obviously I think about that, innit? But at the same time, I had to let that feeling go, man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if you think like that,
holding on to the past.
Eat you up inside, man. Become bitter.
True.
I thought, you know, it is what it is. I am where I am today. And I feel like every experience I've been through, everything I've been through, whether it's suffering, whether it's joy, it's put me where I am in life now, and it's made me who I am today, innit? And I'm happy with who I am today. You see what I'm saying?
Bless you,
so,
man.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't change it. I don't regret it.
No, that's sick. Especially if it's Arsenal. If it was Liverpool, then maybe you'd sit there and play on the clock, bruv. But there you go, my bro. Thank you so much for coming on. Keep it nice and cheap. There you go, guys. That was, for me personally, my favourite podcast.
Yeah, man.
I'm gassed, and I want to let you wrap it up.
That was brilliant.
I'm done.
No, honestly, thank you very much for coming on.
No worries.
If you liked what you saw, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe.
And guys, before we do go, bro, you know, just for someone who's watching this show, obviously I'm going to get known again. Someone who wants to become a footballer, or some advice to some youngsters who are watching this, thinking, you know what, we want to get into football. And something, look at that camera, just give some advice to someone who wants to go through all of this, because it's not easy, bro.
Cool. Yeah, no, I think I always say, what's your why? So when you're playing football, why are you playing football? Is it because you enjoy it, because you love the game? It doesn't even matter if it's for the money or if it's for the fame or it's to change your life. As long as you can harness in on your why you're playing, then you can really focus and know that's your goal in it. That's why I'm doing it. And I think also be prepared to make sacrifices as well. A lot of people see the glitz and glamour of being a footballer, and that's not it. Do you know what I mean? What you see on TV, that's far from it. That's just nothing.
That's literally 90
That's
minutes.
wishy-wash. That's nothing. That's not what goes on behind closed doors, isn't it? You need to be prepared to make the sacrifices you need to make sure you can get to the highest level you can possibly get to. And that's sacrificing doing things with your friends. When your friends want to go out, you got to say no. I'm sleeping. I'm going to bed. When your friends want to go Mackie D's, nope. I'm having my chicken and my veg. Like, you got to sacrifice so much that people don't really realize, innit? It takes a lot to become a professional, man, and it takes even more to stay there.
That's
dedication.
Yeah, man.
That's right. It's so true. I've heard a lot of people say that, my bro. Honestly, but thank you so much, my bro, for coming on.
Man.
No worries.
There you have it, guys. I know Steph's already said it before. So
wrap it up again now.
Until next time, peace, love, and respect. We're out. Thank you.
Cool.